Iran's parliament has decided to close the Strait of Hormuz after tensions between Israel and Iran further escalated. This comes after US destroyed 3 nuclear sites in Iran. However, Iran has not taken a final call on the closure as it's yet to receive an approval from the country's Supreme National Security Council. Now, let's try to understand why is Iran considering such a precarious move. Can the closure of Strait of Hormuz affect the global economy? More importantly, will it impact India? Well, before digging deeper into this matter, let's try to understand what is Strait of Hormuz and what is its significance. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow water passage that connects two water bodies, the Persian Gulf to the west, the Gulf of Oman to the east. This critical choke point is responsible for handling the world's 20% global oil as well as liquefied natural gas trade. On a daily basis, it handles about 20 million barrels of oil. Close to about 80% of crude oil transported via the Strait of Hormuz is consumed by Asia, of which China, India, Japan, South Korea alone accounted for about 65%. The passage is just 33 kilometers in length and is actually vulnerable to economic shocks. However, an interesting thing to note here is that Iran has never blocked or closed Strait of Hormuz as it could have far-fetching consequences in the global economy. Though in the past, the country has attacked several ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, let's try to understand how is India going to get impacted. As per ICRA, a credit rating agency, a money control report stated that India imports about 40 to 50% of its crude oil requirements from Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates, which is routed via the Strait of Hormuz. In the financial year 2025 alone, India imported about 36% of crude oil from Russia. Now, let's assume that if Iran decides to close the strait, what will happen? Well, India would be left with very limited options and it would be looking forward to exploring alternatives like US, Nigeria, Angola and Brazil, which comes with additional freight charges, meaning that fuel prices will increase in the country. In the case of liquefied petroleum gas, that is the LPG, the situation looks a little grim. As per an Economic Times report, every 2 out of 3 LPG cylinders used in Indian households come from West Asian countries. In the case of liquefied petroleum gas, that is the LPG, the situation looks a little grim. India sources about 66% of its LPG requirements through imports, of which 95% of them comes from West Asian countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE and Qatar. Though LPG can be sourced from regions like US, Europe, Malaysia and various parts of Africa, these shipments will take a longer time to reach the country. This will ultimately lead to an increase in the price of LPG prices. For more such insightful takes on business and economy, subscribe to Bizz.